Hello, Wanderers, and welcome back to our Elder Kings 2 series following Clan Direnni, and more specifically, Ferordomas of the Manmer, who, as you can see here, is still suffering the ill effects after the very narrow victory over the pirates of Kosh Hall. Now, we have had that success there and have added Kosh Hall to the lands of the Balfieri rulers, and more specifically us, which does increase our power just a little bit and gives us some advantage in what is to come. Now, originally, we were going to act against some orc pirates and bandits who were here on Skyspire, but they were defeated by Chiefess Favis of Hern. Now, as somebody pointed out, although she is a rapacious zealot, that doesn't necessarily mean she is evil. I imagine that she is somebody we would be heavily concerned about, but I think we're probably just going to keep an eye on that for now. We do have more pertinent matters. Number one being Daggerfall, which is run by a known murderer. Queen Zanella obviously murdered the Queen of Camlorn and is now expanding northward. This is pretty concerning. Even though she's considered to be a good person, she is vindictive. But the fact that she committed a murder and was, known for that is obviously going to give us a lot of concern, especially considering how she is expanding her kingdom from this point. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that, and we really need to make sure that we are prepared to defend against Queen Danella should worse come to worse. Cambrai and Camlorn are in between, and although I would like to potentially maybe take these lands from Cambrai, I don't know if we can justify it just yet. I mean, Prince Willem is not an evil man, certainly, but there might be something to be said for taking these lands to make sure that Balfiera is protected. I think that sense of protection and defensiveness might be enough to justify perhaps building a bulwark here, but we won't do that just yet. We may leave these buffer states in between. That may be the better option. So I was looking around and trying to figure out where we would go next, and I did notice something. Obviously Wayrest is expanding here too, but Wayrest is not the most of places where we would be seeking to act against this vindictive adventurer who rules them. Not necessarily a good man, not an evil man either, though. Expansionists, certainly, and that would give us pause. We may potentially act against them as well, just because of the way that these two kingdoms, Daggerfall and Wayrest, are expanding. That would be of great concern to us. I mean, obviously, if the two of them expand enough, that probably will lead to some pretty big wars here. But even more concerning than that is a distant cousin of House Direnni, King Henry of Gavaldon, of House Dumont, is, as you can see, an evil lackey. Now, there is somebody that we would probably have concern over. Now, the fact that they are of House Direnni and are evil and probably acting in a way that is not in service to their people, I think is going to be something where we would see ourselves as having to bring King Henry to heel and bringing these lands back under the direct control of House Direnni. As you can see, his mother is a member of House Direnni. He is part Altmer as well. You can see by his skin tone and the fact that his father was indeed part Altmer himself. So I think we want to act against them. So instead of going for the Chiefdom of Bethany, I am going to switch over here, and we're probably going to look to, I imagine, get a foothold in Jules. So we're going to fabricate a claim on that county and try to gain a foothold here at the mouth of the river so we can bring Gavaldon to heel. Everything else seems to be fine. Indeed, we do need to collect taxes because we're quite low on money. increasing control in Koshal, bringing any remaining pirates to heel, and Craggy Endal is disrupting any schemes that may be against us. We are still the Chancellor, which is giving us a nice boost to prestige. I would rather be the Marshal, but we do make a pretty good... I mean, we're actually far better at diplomacy, just simply due to the fact that our wife is helping us out with that, and she is incredibly good at it. So we're going to let time roll, and we are going to build up this claim here and save up some money because we are going to need it. We would like to potentially hire a court physician. Now, she is poor at it. We can ask around, see if there are any court physicians who may be a good option here and who are not too expensive. This world is full of dangers, even to a Castellan and his court. As per my request, my servants have inquired after recommendations. I have a few options to choose from. So we could get Elenere, who's quite experienced. Neither of these people strike me as being particularly good at their job. Hinderil seems enthusiastic. I don't think he would be very good at it. In fact, both of them fail to impress me. We may simply put Karalas in charge of that. She's poor at it, but her learning isn't terrible. Better than either of those two people. So hopefully she'll have a good chance. Ever so useful for arcane purposes such as the creation of sigils, the study of the Daedric alphabet is vital to any aspiring conjurer. Possessing secret letters, alternate forms, clustering irregularities, and all sorts of oddities, it is considered by many scholars to be one of the most difficult languages to exist, and rightfully so. I'm having a terrible amount of trouble figuring out even simple inscriptions, and I begin to wonder if I'll ever be able to comprehend a single sentence. We could send a message to Elo, a Dark Elven man, an Ashlander, maybe. But a Dunmer, perhaps somebody we've met in our travels, in our adventures. So we may seek. All right, let's send a letter to this old friend and adventure. I hear that you are dabbling in things you barely understand, says Elo, and naturally you have run to the limits of what your mind can comprehend. Should you insist on pursuing your Daedric studies, I could be persuaded to serve as your tutor if you were to reimburse me for what will no doubt be a prolonged and frustrating exchange of letters. 50 coin. 50 coins. We gain a lot of lifestyle experience. I don't know if we can afford to have a tutor. I think we're going to go back to our book. It's simply too much money. Saw we had a prisoner here. I believe that was indeed you. Can you ransom yourself? Favor? No. You are a pirate. She's been in prison for 5 years. Very well. We'll let you go. 5 years in prison is, I suppose, seems reasonable. So we're saving up that money. Now, one thing I would like to do... Ooh, we have unlocked magical drills. Look at that. Dynasty Legacy. Definitely helping our magical characters here. Oh, we're being raided. Raided by the Kingdom of Wayrest. Well, that is concerning. So, okay, so maybe Wayrest is not so... Certainly not so harmless. They're obviously attacking us, and we are sending troops to assist here, so perhaps we can raise our armies, join the... Oh, did they actually manage to succeed in the raid? No, I think they're leaving. Alright, well, as long as they're... Okay, they're returning back to Wayrest. I'm not sure if they actually managed to siege down the county here, but are we having more? Oh no, okay, that's our allies here coming in to protect our land. Good. So we won't need our army. Send them home. Wayrest, eh? Maybe we should be concerned. How many troops do they have? We could, you know what, it may be worth pressing a claim here in our mother's name. Now, I don't think... It'd be better if it was in our name, obviously. Perhaps, you know, perhaps we'll wait until we get this claim, and then we'll take it from Wayrest. I don't think we're going to stop what we're doing here, because obviously King Anri the Bully, look, he even has the name the Bully, is a concern to us as well. But we will be planning to act against Wayrest here. We'll just need to, I think we're going to need a little bit more preparation than going up against Gavaldon. So, speaking of preparation, getting some alliances would be pretty optimal here. And I was looking through, and in terms of alliance power, we could gain an alliance here with the Castellani of Dwynnin. Get a little marriage between cousins here, but distant cousins. That will give us a chance of pretty good traits, and obviously increase our connections to the line, the direct line of Direnni, which is good because we may intend to take it over ourselves at some point. So he gets quite a big boost of prestige because our family is very prestigious. So we're going to send that proposal. So that will give us an alliance here with another 607 troops. Do you have any children here? Potentially we could get maybe a marriage here as well. Maybe between our... Oh, she'll just not accept. Wonder if she would accept it with one of our other sons with better traits. Arrange a marriage perhaps with Ambarin? No, okay, we need to get her to like us a little bit more. So let us sway her over to our side. Pretty good chances of that. So we could get another alliance there. And that will... If we can get alliances here with the two Castellanis, that will be perfect, because then we'll have all of these troops to bring to bear when we go up against Gavaldon. So we'll just let time run. Obviously, there is now the betrothal between our eldest son and young Quenyas here. So, and that will keep this, the Altmer blood running strong. So we'll have that magical kind of connection in our main line, at least. So yeah, saving up money, and I will probably, Shornhelm is expanding as well. Indeed, we are being threatened here kind of on many sides, so if we can get Gavaldon to kind of submit to Direnni rule, that will be really good, especially when we go against Wayrest, because then we'll have them on both sides. So, like I said, we'll let some time pass, and when something interesting happens, I will come back in. So something interesting did happen. Our swaying did come into effect, so we can probably get an alliance here by arranging a marriage between... not with you, but instead with perhaps Pirtar. Indeed, let Pirtar... Oh no, she won't accept. Why not? Too many we have too many existing alliances. 2. I see, that's a little unfortunate. Can we get... Would anybody accept an alliance here? Iliax, the town of Coglin, Rivercrest. These are all quite a bit older than our son. I don't think we want to arrange a marriage quite like that. We would like somebody who's a similar age. Doesn't look like any alliances will be accepted, so we're going to wait a little bit before we arrange any more betrothals. But at least our eldest son is betrothed and gains us a nice alliance there. Here we go. I have prowled through documents both ancient and of a certain provenance. I've finally enough material to make the case that you are the rightful lord of the Principality of Julesay. See it done. It'll cost us 78, but that does give us the option to say that these are officially, these are Direnni lands, and they are under the hands of somebody who is not deserving of them. So we will continue to enforce the will of House Direnni and take these lands back and put them under our steady rule. So he has no alliances, which means if we were to declare war, we have a significant advantage with our allies here. So we are going to do so. So we're going to declare war there, and we are going to raise our armies. We will probably... we have been injured, but I think that it's pretty important to lead our troops ourselves in this instance, because it's, Direnni against Direnni here. We will call our allies into war. We're gonna bring both of them. Oh, our children like guardians. Pirtar, I think, we might train Pirtar as a warrior. And Ambaran does have some magical gifts, but is also potentially a warrior as well. So I think we may have you learn from one of our companions here. Perhaps Jonas. Jonas here can raise our other son to be a strong warrior. We could find him somebody with magical training to raise him, and we may take over at some point ourselves, but I don't think... Indeed, we have 2 wards already, so... Actually, you know what? I'm going to switch that. There we go. And we will raise Ambaran ourselves because he has that magical affinity. We would be the best one to raise him. So let's let our armies come up. Let us call in our allies. We have already done so. And let us go to war. There we go. So we're going to probably try to land in Julce first and foremost. And hopefully join with our allies there. They don't even outnumber our own army, so I'm not too concerned, but I would rather not have to fight. Oh, okay. So it looks like we're just going to go right into the battle here, and looks like the enemy commander is Baheshdar Shamir, the hyena of Shamir. Very interesting that he has a Khajiit as the commander of his army. That's pretty cool, but hopefully our allies will manage to join in. Oh, looks like the battle is actually slightly turning against us, but if our allies can join us in time... Battle Reeve, Craggy Endal killed Jagar Lyric. Looks like the battle is going in our favor. And maimed Cathad, Craggy Endal is proving himself to be quite the warrior in battle. Very fierce, but we are losing troops to the enemy army. Looks like our allies may get here just in the nick of time to save our army. Looks like our forces are preparing to retreat, but just then our allies come in, our father with the army, to essentially save the day here, turn the tides in our favor. Our army was almost routed as we waited for our allies to come in, but they did arrive, and now we can lay siege to Julce with the reinforcements sent by our father. The young mediator. There was a commotion among the children. Pirtar was attempting to preach to his fellow youngsters and became the target of a small fight. Andame intervened and managed to stop the fight before anybody got hurt. And looks like Andame remaining calm. Oh, that's a good trait. Do not be afraid, charge in when you have to. Brave. Brave would be a good trait, but calm... I feel like calm could be quite good for him, but... You know, I think as somebody who is... Well, we are both brave and calm. You know, I think remaining calm in the face of pressure is incredibly important. So we will raise our son to be calm. And there we go. So the siege is being laid. Oh, Allison gained the trait Diplomat. Excellent. Good job, Allison. So she's even better at diplomacy. Very impressive. So we will siege down these lands. Ferordomas learns the Bredic language. Perfect. We're going to head in here to Gavaldon. There's the enemy army. You know, maybe we'll... Oh no, you know what, we'll continue to lay siege here. I'm not gonna waste my troops to attrition when it is not necessary to do so. So we're gonna let this siege tick down a little bit. We can get a guardian for Ferordomas. What are your traits? You're kind of bookish. So I think that perhaps you might have something to learn. What traits would this... You are getting a learning education. Do we have anybody particular skill at learning? Alright. Aldark Karalas can do so. Not trained in the arts of magicka, but he will get some learning experience. We don't need to have every one of our children trained in magicka, but he may develop some later on. So yeah, we'll let time tick down in the siege. But we did seem to have a mental break by Xerxes. Petitioners from the realm have been queuing up lately. The work feels endless. If you have come for justice, know that I do not overrule my judges just for petty coin. The merchant gawps at me, blinking rapidly in shock. Was it something I said? I don't think that it would make sense to become reclusive, improvident, nor that, really. I think we're the type of character who would fight through the stress. Being just, being brave, being calm, I think that we would simply continue on through that stress. And it's because our mother died. Our mother passed away. Which means... Oh, we did not inherit her claims. Okay, I thought we would inherit our mother's claims. It seems we did not, so we might have to forge some claims. I think it's reasonable to suggest that we could easily forge claims on here, and we're probably going to do so once we've dealt with Gavaldon here and King Henry. Oh, Jonas has taught Pyrdar the Nordic language. Perfect. Looks like we will not need to deal with the rest of King Henry's army. He understands that this part of the war is done. We will enforce our demands upon him. It says we can declare... Oh yes, King Marbet of Camlorn. We could press Osring Keen Eyes. Oh, bold villain. Very interesting. So the new king of Camlorn has become a villain. Callous, paranoid, and curious. Okay, so we may indeed have somebody who we need to deal with in that regard and push Osring's claims here. Osring being not... He's a content adventurer, probably a much more palatable person, and he has fought alongside us quite well so far. We could even arrange an alliance here, or potentially get some sort of alliance here. Oh, this character is good. You would be an excellent person to get a marriage to. You know, actually, maybe we should look for a marriage here between... Well, Craigie Endall, I don't think is going to be marrying anyone. Sevion, you already have a marriage. Maybe Jonas. Jonas might need a marriage, perhaps. We do need a chancellor, because that was our mother's position, so I think we will have Natanwe take that role. She is very skilled at it. Jonas, where are you? Do you wish to have a wife, Jonas? Unfortunately, that character does not seem to be an option, but we do have this beautiful woman here, Cordis. That would probably be a more palatable marriage to him anyways. Just, no, they're both in Nord, so they would kind of know each other well. Or they would know each other's language and cultures, so that might be a little bit more palatable to Jonas. We'll let him get married there. So the question is, do we continue to deal with Gavaudan, or do we act against Camlorn next? I think Camlorn being the bigger threat. Indeed, we'll need more prestige towards that end, though. Well, in order to get prestige, going on a hunt may be the best option and the only one that is within our means. So let us go on a hunt here, build up some prestige and prepare for the next war. That will probably be all we can do to get up to that level. Can sway the Castellan. I mean, she already likes us as much. Perhaps she would like focus on diplomatic matters. No, feats of war. Perhaps she likes feats of war. We'll probably end this scheme. It seems unnecessary at this point. I have scoured the hills twice over by now and still no sign of game. Everybody expects me to return triumphant with a trophy, but as things are looking, I will only return with shame. I would not sink so low as to return empty-handed. Humble honesty is the most important in this case. In her response, encouraged my dip into those topics. Let us speak more. Excellent. She is very positively inclined to us. Oh, and let us look here at the battle. I'm sure you're curious about that. Jonas obviously getting the most kills. Sevion many. Osring getting many. Snagbash as well. Craig Yandal. And the rest of our knights not being particularly important. So obviously all our friendly characters and our special characters in our court providing a lot of help in that battle. Cathad was slain by Vanausa, and Jagar was slain by Craig Yendal. And here Bashdar indeed lost that battle against us, though he was about to win. Hunt is drawing to an end. We only got some small game, really. We gain a little bit of prestige, not a significant amount. We will need to continue to build that up before we get into dealing with Camlorn. Once we've secured the border with Camlorn and gotten rid of this young villain, this boy who is becoming well known for his cruelty, a bit of a Joffrey Baratheon type character, I imagine. We will deal with that and then deal with Wayrest. But until then, that will be us getting one more perk here. What perk shall we get? Continue down the alteration tree. We could get fortify walls. That would be pretty good. Or apprentice restoration, mend wounds. Honestly, it looks like at this point we're probably going to have to mend our own wounds, so getting some restoration there will be pretty good. Our court physician is not that good, so we may just need to use magic to do so, and we will attempt to do so in the next episode when hopefully our wounds finally heal, but they have not healed just yet. Until that next episode, thank you for watching.